Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to the channel. We are back again with more value, more insights, and more information. As we left in the previous video and wanted to be continued, please do check out my previous video. I'll try to link it up here so that you can actually catch up to the steps that we are actually on a journey going through the startup process and all the things that you need to do. So as we get into it, guys, please forgive my video there. There's a bit of light. So today we'll be going into the MVP. What is the MVP? This word is usually thrown around in tech conversations, or in this tech summits, or in tech startups, or VCs, and all those organizations where we talk about an MVP. What is an MVP? So an MVP is a minimum viable product. So if I'm making a phone, like I made with an example in the previous video, if I make a phone, before I can actually get this phone out to the market, I must actually develop or come up with an MVP so that I can actually build a prototype for it. This is what I want to build. This is the phone that I want to build with the first features, the basic features. It's not the final product yet, but it's actually an MVP on what you want to build. So now that you have covered your brand identity, your ideation, and all that, we are now building our MVP. So what is the purpose of building an MVP? Building a simple version of your product to test with early users. The most important thing is to test with your early users. As you can see, you've been ideating, you've been doing all your research, you have been planning, you have been coming up with ideas. What is it that you can actually do? So now we are in this phase of actually developing. If you are making an app, for example, this is where now you actually code, you actually come up with the screens, the pages, the functionality, the back end, the front end, so that you can actually have a working prototype that you can give to a user to test and see if they like the app, see if they like the platform, if it actually solves their pain points, or you need to go back to the drawing board and actually fix some things, as we don't want to build a product and then just ship it to the market without actually coming up, or rather without actually engaging with your customers. Like I said in the previous video, before you build something for them or rather go to the market, at least engage with them, involve them in this whole process. So that's the importance of building the MVP. And the key steps in building a key MVP, what we are going to look at first is feature prioritization. So you have to prioritize your features. As I said, you are not going to come up with an MVP with all the features that you have, or rather with all the functionalities that you wish your app should have, but at least some of the core features that you want, or maybe the core features that do the objective of the app, or rather deliver the service that it promises. At least it must have those, even though you don't have maybe the AI nice features, you don't have the recommendation features yet, you don't have what can you say, you don't have features for uploading stuff on the platform, but at least the core of the platform, the core feature is there for people to test. So what you have to do also in this step of building an MVP is to do your prototyping. This is where now I'm going to be focusing mostly on the apps to make an examples, because as a software developer, I have a bit of more knowledge in that. So you have to now create wireframes or mockups of your app. Maybe there's a platform called Figma, and there's other few like Lucidchart or something that people use to create mockups or wireframes, where they design their screens. Then this is the buttons, this is what. So you have to come up with simple mockups or other wireframes for your prototype. And then now you actually get into the development of the product, or rather the MVP, where you use lean methodologies to develop quickly. This is where now you don't want to spend most of the time on the development, but rather you want to develop this thing in a quick and a more sustainable or rather efficient way, so that you can actually get this thing out to the users. They can actually test. If there's something they don't like, they come back to you, which is the last step mentioned here, the feedback from early users. testing. By giving them this MVP, or rather this platform, you want them to actually engage with it, tell you if it really does what they want. Can they really pay to use this platform? Or there are certain things that you have to go back to the drawing board to improve. Maybe you work on the style, maybe work on the coloring, maybe work on the user interface. Maybe it's too complicated, the navigation is too much, make it simple, So that's where you're gonna get all that feedback from testing with your early users. And then now you go back to the drawing board where you're going to be developing the MVP again. So as when you go to launch now your final product, the product is what the people actually want, that you are developing this thing for. So that's one way to do it. And this is a very important step which most entrepreneurs, especially here in South Africa, they don't follow this step. They just want to build a product, get the product to the market, make money, make profit. They forget that in the middle of that whole process, there's people that you are building this thing for. So you actually have to engage with those people, know if they actually need or want this thing, and if there are certain features they would like you to add. Maybe you are not focusing on those, but there are add-ons that they would like, and maybe remove something that you thought they would like. So it's very important for us as South African entrepreneurs, because we're actually competing with large enterprises, especially on the tech side. We are competing with large establishments who have a large portion of the market, and they have the budget to build as quickly as they can. So for us, we don't have to really build the same thing, or rather we can copy them, but maybe we can just niche down, focus on a certain demographic, and give them exactly what they want. You can't there's this saying I've heard, I don't remember from who, where they say when someone has too many options, sometimes it gets hard for them to decide on which one to pick. But if there's at least a limited or few options, it's easier for them to make a decision to say, no, I want this one instead of this one. But if there's a very huge options available exposed to you, you have a wide variety of options to choose from, they may end up even not choosing anything. So even if when you make a product for your customer or for your client, you don't want to add so many features where some of the features are now not necessary, and the person has these many features, notifications on the app. They actually no longer enjoy using the app because they don't know what is it that it actually solves, because it has all those features. It solves for fitness, it solves for weight loss, it solves for learning, it's productivity, it's planning, it's coding, it's learning, it's playing games, all in one platform. So you see now the user has so many options when they come to their platform, and they might actually not end up solving their pain point. So they might want to go with someone who's focusing on their pain points, and this functionality is straightforward. When I have a problem with productivity, I get my productivity features. I don't have to now play games, do what, which is not what I wanted. So when we look at the pros and cons for MVP development, the first pro is fast time to market. Because now you developed an MVP, and you are still in the development phase of this product or this app or this whichever service that you want to do, you actually get to engage with the clients. You actually build in trust with these people. Like I mentioned in the previous video on the brand identity, you are actually now available in the market. When you now then have the final product, it's easier for you to penetrate, especially with people that you have engaged with before. As you can see on the second one, says it helps gather real user feedback. This issue this app that I'm developing for these people who have an issue of unemployment, this app will solve their problem. You are not assuming. Now you have real data. You have given these people this app to test. They tested the app. Some say it works and some say it doesn't work. As you can see now, illustrated here with this picture below. Some people are going to like the app or the features, and then some won't, as they all have different backgrounds, different reasons, and different objectives. Some may say this thing is actually good, it's helping. Some may not like it, but the good outcome of this should be that majority of the people actually like the platform. Those who didn't like it, they should give you feedback on why or what caused them to give you that particular feedback, the negative response. You go back to the drawing board, try to address it. Now let's look at the cons of this method, or rather of this step. It may leave out features that could attract more users. Remember, I've been saying not so long ago that some features you may need to leave out so as you can develop the MVP quickly and then you can give to the users to test. But now, one thing that you also need to look at is that you may leave out the features that could actually attract the people. Maybe you say, I'm giving out feature 1, feature 2, feature 3 for these people to test because you assume this is what they may like. But in actual terms, you might find out that feature 4 and 5 should have included them instead of these two. They would have actually brought in more people because this is what resonates more with people. But because of assumptions or research or whichever data, you chose these ones, so there's a risk of missing out on potential users there. And also, limited functionality could give a bad first impression because when I get your app or your platform or whatever, I want to be able to use it to the full objective or to the full deliverable that it promises me. If maybe it's solving the issue of unemployment by giving me skills, recommending jobs for me like the platform I'm building, I want to experience that whole journey where I get to learn a skill. I get to learn a skill. I get to know different things, the practice projects. I get to know the actual practical skill, how to apply, and also how to market myself, how to make money with the skill, how to start a business, have a certificate. That's what I want to enjoy, or rather experience in the journey of using the platform. But now, if I only get to learn the skill, but there is no projects included because it's still the first version, I won't really get the essence behind the project part because I haven't engaged with it. I don't know how it works. This thing just gives us content. We learn, okay, but there are no projects for us to test our knowledge or evaluate ourselves. So it's gonna now leave you with disappointed users, and it's really not a good idea because, especially with an MVP, you really want to gain the traction at the beginning, capture your users so that they can anticipate the final launch of the final product or service. So this is what you really have to look at, and this has been an issue, especially within South African entrepreneurs. Guys, please let us learn these skills. I know our businesses may be different, and because of the complexity and variety of our businesses, some things may not apply. As with this part of the step, I've been focusing mostly on the app, or rather the software development side of things. Maybe you have a service, or maybe you are selling food and whatnot. If you are selling a quota, make that quota. Make that quota, give it to your friends and family there at home. Let them taste, give you reviews. Do they like it? Is the combinations working? Are the combos communicating? And then you can actually know that you do have the sauce. You see, so now you actually know that people do like your quota. It's nice, affordable, and all that because you have actually tested it. Now you go to the market, you include it in your menu, or even if you are starting, you start with that flavor, that quota. Usually they like to call quotas with names in our cases. So sometimes they call them with cars. You'd have a VW, you'd have a BM, you'd have a Mercedes Benz, the expensive ones now. You see, something like that. You just be creative. Some like calling them with names that are just a bit fun. You just be creative so that the user actually enjoys the experience of buying a quota from you. So for this video, guys, I'll be just covering this step. I won't be actually going into more steps because I realized with the previous video it was too long. So I'm just gonna keep it at one step. Please don't be disappointed like these two people at the bottom here. There will be a video coming up again next week. I believe a very interesting video as there's an event I'm going to be attending next week. So this is the step that we are doing next, guys. And then please do watch out for other videos for more steps to follow. But if you do want some advice on a particular topic, do reach out to me in the comment section. Please like the video, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to start a business or interested in this business thing, I am here to share knowledge with you guys, share value, engage with you. Don't hesitate to comment down below what you like me to cover, what type of content you want me to do for you guys. Excuse me. As I'm doing this thing for you guys, I'm doing this content for you because I want to share the journey, because I'm also on the same journey. So I want to share all that I'm learning as I go through. I actually want to pass it out to other people in the same journey. But anyway, it's your being coach Tato Semenya. I hope you enjoyed the video, you gained a lot of value, and if you did, please like and subscribe to the video. Peace out.